Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. After 3 days of dull rainy weather in Melbourne, we are finally here in Sydney. Whenever you're in Sydney, one of the prettiest things about the city is its countless parks. And Centennial Park, where we are in right now, is the largest, the prettiest and the biggest park right in the center of the city. It's a Sunday, there will be families lazing around for picnics, dogs running around, duck ponds all around, some beautiful trees, lovely skies, and the perfect Sydney weather. You know, Sydney constantly ranks in the top 10 most livable cities of the world. And I think I can see why. It's a sunny, modern city right in the middle of nature where you can enjoy almost every hobby or sport. So we started our morning from Centennial Park, 189 hectares of open space right in the middle of the city, including gardens, lakes, wetlands, sports fields. And the best part is you'll find something to do here no matter your age. You can go admiring the evergreen oak trees or head to one of the park's countless ponds and lakes. Seriously, I have seen a side of Sydney in the movies with the Opera House and iconic bridges and the harbour, but the green spaces in between I really did not know. So, after walking around the park for hours, we were looking for breakfast options when some locals tell us about the park's famous in house cafe, a cute little food joint inside Centennial Park serving a mix of healthy smoothies and truffle fries, all in a gorgeous canopy under the trees. And we gulp it all down quickly because it's time to hit the beach. If there is one place in Sydney you should not miss, it is the Bondi Beach. Pristine white sand, iconic beach houses overlooking the turquoise blue waters. In fact, the entire neighborhood of Bondi is one of Sydney's best. Of course, for the surfers, it's paradise, and you'll find a mix of locals and tourists enjoying the seaside spirit and its laid back coastal lifestyle. Of course, not everybody likes laid back, and the Muscle Beach is inspiring to say the least. So Sydney has a long coastline and with it come a number of beaches. In fact, if you do not want to see too many people, take a ferry and head over to the Manly Beach. But really, we wanted to be in the crowd here. Also, because I've watched Bondi Rescue as a child, a TV reality show shooting professional lifeguards patrol the Bondi Beach, and was maybe hoping to catch some live action. You know, we have been to so many beaches all over the world, yet each has a very different vibe. But the one thing they all have in common is the ocean. There's just something about running into the waves, or even running away from it, sitting in the sand, under the sun. It's a dream life, seriously. So, as people enjoy soaking up the sun, picnics in the sand, and reconnecting with nature and your own self, we make our way to the eastern end of Bondi Beach, which has another of Sydney's iconic and must do things. A short climb up the hill gives you a bird's eye view of Bondi and brings you to the Bondi Icebergs pool. Now, I've seen good pools, infinity pools, hot pools, the list can go very long, but I have never seen such a pool. The ocean comes crashing down and you literally feel like swimming in the ocean. We would have loved to get in, and the entry is only $9, but the pool is freezing at 16 degrees Celsius. Of course, that meant summers here to the local Aussie folk, and we could only look in awe and admire the Aussies and Australia. There's a small cafe near the pool and you can sit on the rooftop soaking in the sun. And if you have questions on whether it's safe, Bondi Icebergs is here since 1929, close to 100 years now. It has a very rich history and some very famous guests. I think it's hard to find a better pool view in Sydney, or maybe even the world. So we make our way back to the Bondi Beach promenade one more time, and Bondi is buzzing with locals and tourists playing games on the beach, having a good time, or just laying down in the sand with seagulls for company. Seriously, you can spend a whole day here from sunrise to sunset with stunning views, friendly people, beautiful beach homes, and of course the endless waves. There's a park right behind the beach and a very pretty Ferris wheel to take in the views. The entire area of Bondi is seriously like a typical beach town and a tropical setting. Bondi Beach has a heart, and it was finally time to go. Driving back from the beachy neighborhood of Bondi to the iconic harbour of Sydney. So this is the side of Sydney we are all sort of familiar with. The iconic Opera House sitting pretty in the Sydney harbour, one of 20th century's most famous creation. All along the harbour you'll find yachts and boats to take you on a harbour cruise to show you the city's skyline in all its glory. Our plans were different because we found a bar that gives you the best views of Opera House in Sydney. Seriously, the bar is right opposite the skyline and sunset here is next level. Then there's the Darling Harbour on the other side. With endless bars and restaurants, you can walk all along the harbour, and evenings here are truly a sight. With lights shining and reflecting all sorts of views, ferries and boats galore like any harbour should be. Definitely recommend to take any harbour cruise and then head to a quieter side of Sydney. So of course, like any other big city, Sydney has a lot of cool, hip and happening neighborhoods, but Balmain is our personal favorite. The relaxed pubs and restaurants in Victorian buildings, boutique stores, artisan bakeries and restored cottages. It's the kind of place where restaurants will shut at 9 pm and everyone will know everyone. Just the kind of neighborhood you want. We stayed in Balmain for 3 nights and got used to early dinners at 7 pm at one of the finest Italian restaurants in town, or another pretty place just down the street. And when the restaurants closed at 9, there was a Mexican bar nearby, the only one open till 11 pm. The bartender became our friend and even let us sit past his closing time on more than one occasion. The only 2 people on the street, we danced and laughed and thought of closing the night here. But it's not every day you're in Sydney, and decided we cannot leave without seeing what the Opera House would look like at night. But before that, there was one last place that we had to go in Sydney. Cantina OK ranks in the best 30 bars of the world. In a small back alley, you'll almost miss it for sure. Happy faces, unimaginable cocktails, and surreal decor. The place is only lit with candles and lamps. The smallest bar ever, where instead of any menu, it's best to just leave it to the experts. Needless to say, I have not had such good drinks in a while. The bar is open till 3 and we had almost hit closing time. So we left the cantina happy and high. The harbour bridge looks stunning at night, and seeing the opera house up close without any people is an unforgettable sight. Sydney, with its beach, bars, bridges, and water, reminds us of home, but we are far, far away here in Australia, and there's 2 towns to go.